Hello, Internet, and I just want to tell you that there is no time today for lightsabers. Nope, I'm in a giant rush. I'm running a little late. I got a meeting, so there's no time for these. All right, so another burn and learn for you. The burn and learn, for those of you who don't know, is my bit to stay alive and fit long enough to raise my amazing son and to enjoy the twilight years with my brilliant, beautiful wife, Jane. I hate exercise. It's boring, so I like to learn something while I'm doing it, and then I like to share what I've learned with you in the sweatiest way possible, and I am truly living up to form today. I am a mess. Torture device has kicked the whatevers out of me, and but it's done. It's done for the day, and it's done early, which is really nice. I had to sort of just set the alarm, drag myself out of bed. I'm worried because we've got to go back to school next week, and we are basically entirely nocturnal right now. So I'm trying to break that that cycle and drag myself out of bed. Of course, poor Jane has hurt her neck, so she had a terrible night, and she'll be sleeping. She'll be in bed all day, I think, probably. So. I am going for my meeting today with the wonderful teacher librarian at our local school who is my partner in crime for the tech terrors. And frankly, it really would not happen without him. And I have no idea whether I'm allowed to use his name. So I will just say thank you very much, because it means an awful lot. I really, really enjoy doing this, and I just wouldn't be able to do it without him. And I think the kids really like it too, as an aside. Tech terrors are this crazy idea I had to just basically allow kids to pull things apart, because that's how I got into electronics. And that started, we then sort of moved into robotic arms and Arduino and all sorts of stuff, because invariably once you start taking stuff apart, you want to know how it works, and then you want to build stuff, and it's just amazing. There are some kids who spend a little more time destroying than I would like. But you know what? Honestly, I think if there's a way to sort of like, to ignite a little spark in there of interest into how things work. And in many cases, the kids had no idea that there was anything more than a box with a couple of things you plugged into. Like, the idea that there were actually other aspects to a computer, that there were different components and things, was quite fascinating to them. And some of them have become total nerds. I got one kid who has spent the last year pricing and comparing computer parts, really drilled down on this, serious. He knows more about PCs now than I do, and so it's great. I can just ask him about stuff now. And he'll be in he'll be in my tech terrors as well, so he can hopefully be an ambassador of learning, or whatever the heck they're calling it, or what I said, the punk rock of learning. Again, so today was the Steam makers, and really what it's talking about now is just numerous different approaches for trying to get Steam into the schools. And how the different sort of communities have done it. Money. It always comes down to it, but it seems like money is a big part of it. You can definitely be smart, and you can definitely bring stuff in. There's a move that I quite like, which is away from sort of established kits and components and more into the sort of DIY, what can we pull out of the garbage type stuff, which is stuff I really, really like. Now, that said, I also feel like, I'm using the easy robots because I just like the system. It's very, very easy for them to program, and you can use it to interface with other sort of motors and robots and such. You could even, I should be able to get the Roomba running with it as well. So one of the things I'm hoping to do today is actually go to a couple of thrift shops and see if there's any bits and pieces I can pick up, because for some reason there haven't been, the first year I did it, there were a lot of PCs for people, and even within 3 years it's become very difficult to get old desktop PCs that people are willing to give away, and that they don't want to charge for it. So there's a number of them in the sort of the $60 to $90 range, but I don't want to spend that money if we're just going to pull them apart. So I also have to figure out, actually, if there's anyone in Toronto who knows this, I used to go to the dump. I used to just go to the dump and find old bits and pieces that people had thrown away and get stuff from there. But that was 1,000 years ago, and in England. So I'm just wondering if the same sort of thing applies here. I guess Point Roberts is the same as well. When I was living there, they had an amazing, the Point Roberts dump was amazing. There's all sorts of stuff there you could get. I'd be curious to know if Toronto does the same kind of thing. If there's some way of going out and getting old computers and things that people have thrown out, because we just can't afford to buy them. Apart from, as I said, the thrift shop, if I can find some really cheap stuff, I'll get some old toys and stuff for them to start with, and go from there. But the Steam Makers book is an inspiration. It really is. I have to start like compiling this stuff, all the, you know, the points that I like from all of the stuff that I've got. Just a little side note, when my eyes, I have squeaky eyes. It creeps people out. But if I rub my eyes, that's the sound of my eyes. How weird is that? My wife is just horrified when I do that. But what can you do? I got squeaky eyes. So yeah, so the Steam Makers is just, I did 50 minutes on the torture device today, set at 5. And it flies by because it's just so much to take in, so much stuff. And I've always responded really well to the stories of how people built companies or careers or any of that kind of stuff. I always loved that approach to stuff. And this book has taken that approach with makerspaces. So it's basically talking about you know, how these places are being incorporated into schools and on a very sort of personal level, like on a one-on-one kind of level, like this school did this, and here are the different problems they had, and that kind of stuff. So I find that very useful. I'm rambling. I gotta go. I gotta eat breakfast, and I gotta go talk to my Tech Terrors partner and figure out what we're doing this year, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. So until we meet again, sweaty or not, lightsabered or not, cheerio.